everyone's getting some information on this, and hopefully, as I said, please send your questions in. It's it's a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. So I'll go to the third one there, Jack, for us that we've got.
Please.
Okay, hello, Jackie and Jay. Love the chat last week. Thanks so much for everything. It really helped me with a few things that I've been going through. My question to you guys are, questions. Yes, hang on. Sorry, it's early in the morning here. Sorry, it's a bit. It's.
I mean, for 5:30 in the morning, you're looking pretty awake.
Well, it's 6:40 now because we've had so I'm not too bad. So I'm waking up from the sleep of the vampire. So anyway, understanding the feminine and masculine energy in a twin flame relationship. I feel I have both. Is that possible?
I feel the same way myself. I honestly, even my husband said, he's like, you do realize I'm the man, right? And I'm like, nope. I am very sensitive, but I am also very, I can embody that male energy very easily in certain situations. So I can understand that. And I believe, we can be if we allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough. Not a lot of men will try to get to know their feminine side, or would even, that even the thought of it would terrify their ego a bit too much. So, I mean, that's kind of where you can give a lot of perspective on that. Because I think it's easier for women to embody those masculine energies. I think it's where some men can find challenges being vulnerable.
Absolutely.
Embody their feminine side. So I know that you have a lot of experience with that. What's your take on that one?
Well, my take is because of the cancer and the healing that I do, I'm more in the feminine energy. I'm way more in the feminine energy. The masculine energies for me is giving the power away, and I think what it was is a bit more of a deeper seated issue that I had. But with the twin flame coming out and seeing how she was fully masculine, had full control and not power. What's the word? You had those energy, that male, that full male energy that I could feel, those male qualities, if you want to put it that way. But it's basically saying that you're empowering you're empowering the masculine energy.
And to me, I think it's so sexy for a man to be able to be vulnerable and without, that fear of what other people will think. I know a lot of men will have a hard time doing so, but watching a guy do that without fear of their ego or this, it's a really, really nice quality, I think.
Well, we've had our discussions about what I was saying to my twin flame, and you said the same thing. Oh my God, that's what every woman wants to hear.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
You said that. I remember the conversation.
I know that dishes aren't a woman's job, but I mean, he cooks and cleans, and I'm like, oh my God, it's so I had a guy one time that wouldn't even wear a pair of socks that had a pink stripe on it because it was women's socks. I'm like, are we joking? They're socks.
But we go deeper into that. You go deeper into that energy. And when I told you that time about what I said to my twin flame, and you just gone, oh my God, that's what women want to hear, because I've embarrassed that feminine energy within myself. But then I find with the masculine energy, I've got it. I haven't released it. I realise why now. I know why the deep-seated thing comes in, but with being with my twin flame has actually understood why I didn't release it, and it's next level. It's next level. We're talking guides, we're talking spirit guides, we're talking, there's a lot of other things we can talk about with that on the spiritual and personal development plane, but as we say, our greatest teacher will be our twin flame in some ways, because they've got the key. They've got the key to our Pandora's box. Believe it, because I've got the key to mine, to my twin flame's one, but she has put a big wall up, and she won't let me in.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and now you're trying to, because she must embody very masculine qualities with.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So I mean, you're fighting, and I have to say, it's usually ego. It's usually this fear of vulnerability or fear of being hurt. I mean, there's 1,000 reasons, I guess, but now you're coming at it from the other angle.
Absolutely, and you can feel. I mean, and you're living your truth. People might say, "Oh, it's not true." It's not. I'll give you this, ladies and gentlemen. If you believe, this is where the big thing is in the world. If you believe in something, you believe it. You don't have to prove it to anyone else in a lot of ways. But if you've got your truth, you don't have to go preaching it or anything, but you got your truth, like I believe. And it's basically standing up. And this is a big male, I found it's a big masculine energy, standing up for yourself.
Yeah.
Actually standing up for yourself and believe and go, I believe the grass is brown. I'm going to believe that.
Yep.
Now I'm making it easier than going into other stuff, but I believe the grass is brown, and that's it. People don't like it when you stand up for it in that way. So I've worked that out, and I've been someone who's been very retracted, and I know why, in giving my opinions in that way. I didn't know how to express it or believe it. I just used to go into another, it was a pattern of, insecurity, a pattern of, sort of being angry that I wasn't being heard. But I know why, because I didn't believe in what I was saying, because I didn't believe in myself.
Yeah.
And I know why, because, and there's obviously reasons why, and you got to go deeper in to find it. But your twin flame, going back to twin flame, will bring that out in you. I just said, well, we're all new to this stuff. I mean,
it can be a very insecure energy at sometimes. Like
yes.
It brings out your innermost insecurities about yourself, and it can be very highlighted at times where you're like, you feel like maybe you thought you've already healed that part of you, and that person has this way of just putting you right back into that energy.
Absolutely. So you think you think with this question, to answer it, we're saying you can have feminine and masculine qualities. In my case, you can have a stronger one, but I think the twin flame actually brings out, you can actually see that you go, right, hang on, it's masculine and feminine come together. So they're attracted to your feminine or masculine, you're attracted to their feminine or masculine, to bring that out in yourself, yeah?
I believe it should, by the time the journey is ended and you kind of healed and you're both in your, full flame, it should be very balanced, masculine and feminine energy, I believe so.
Do you feel like you've got it because you've been through, obviously?
I mean, I am working to connect to my more, I think for a while I had to put on that masculine hat a little bit more, just to kind of get myself out of the densest part of the journey. And I'm really working now to bring back my connection to myself. So opening back up to my feminine energy and exploring that a little bit more in depth, because I don't feel it's 100% balanced the way it could be. And that's really where my focus is right now, is bringing that back into balance on both sides.
Fantastic. Yep. Well, as I said, I'm feminine, and I know why my masculine has been held back. But I've done the work. As I said, with your Akashic record, I'll give you a big plug. The Akashic records that I got done by Jack was divine. If you don't believe in divine timing, believe it, because it does happen. Divine timing, trusting in the universe, detaching from outcome. They always say let go. Aaron Doherty and Victor Otto is the other thing. And another thing that I did after you was open up my third eye. So all this stuff was happening while I was in my twin flame, because I sort of embedded myself into sort of bettering myself spiritually, not knowing that I was going through past traumatic traumas. And that's the other thing, just to let you know, traumas will come out if you open the Pandora's box or go through the door. You're going to have to deal with it.
And a lot of the times you notice have very similar childhood trauma experiences. So there is that level of trauma bonding that can be brought up due to these twin flame unions, right? It's a very charged energy.
Absolutely, it's charged, all right. It's just you work on the subconscious. I think it's you work on your happily ever after, I guess, in some way. That's how I looked at it when I first had it. Just happened. It's just like, wow, and then you don't know you're opening the Pandora's box.
I love how you say Pandora's box, because that just really, that's what it is. Like sometimes you didn't even know those things were there.
That's right. Oh, it's amazing. Look, you've been through it, I've been through it. We're at different levels, but we've come together to help us. G'day, Sarah. I've got a gift.
Thank you for the rose.
Love you, Raven. Sarah's one of my co-hosts on the Life Theories podcast as well. But so I think the yeah, definitely feminine, masculine energy. Just look into that, and you can go from there. I've got one more. This is going to open up a few. This is go. Are you right? All good?
Sorry for all the coughing to get to you guys.
Right. Don't worry, I'm the same. That's okay. It's all good. I'll give you this one, Jack. This is interesting for both of us. Okay. Now, mate, I think it's for you. I think this will be directed as you. Hi guys, how are you? Thank you very much for opening up about your journeys. It's very brave of you to come out on a public forum to speak about what you're going through. And I respect you very much. Thank you so much.
Oh,
thank you. As I said, yeah, thank you very much for saying that. As I said, I won't read out names or anything like that. So I do. Okay, so just for privacy sort of thing. I have a big question for you though. How do I disconnect from a twin flame?
$1 million question.
I believe that I'm handball on this one.
Yeah, for me, I mean, there's a certain amount of disconnection I can have. I have children with my twins, so for me, it was more about cutting past cords that were connecting us together that were no longer serving our highest ascension. And I did that literally through meditation with a pair of imaginary scissors and a cord. I just envisioned me and him. I envisioned a cord connecting us, and then I envisioned myself cutting the cord. And it doesn't mean that I don't care, those feelings aren't there. It just meant that I was not going to be, my life wasn't going to be disrupted by the way his feelings were, because you become so connected that you almost, they're 20 miles away and they're doing something wrong and you feel it in the gut of your stomach. And that's how it would be for me. So that's how I did it for me. And it was, truly on a metaphysical level, but it did help me to get that separation I needed so I could really just be focusing on what my energy is and what my feelings were. And that's the best advice I can give you. I don't know another way. And if anybody on the call has a great example, then...
Okay, Sarah says you've got to be careful. Okay. Sarah,
yeah, and I agree. There is a certain amount of careful we should be. But for me, I was in a place where if I didn't, it would have been worse in my situation. But without getting too deep into that, what about you? Are you doing this presently, Jay, or is it something you've already thought of?
Okay. Okay, yeah, you can hop on. Okay. I'm not sure if you can because you've got only 450 followers, so we can't do that. What we'll do is, Sarah, if you're listening, if you want to write something down for us and we can read it out for you, because I don't think we can have with regards to getting you on. Okay, I have to work it out. I'm not sure how that works, but I'll go through my one. What I did, I didn't cut any. Well, I attempted to cut the cord, right? But what I did, I just requested to join, accept me in. Okay, I'll quickly, if you could do
finish what you were going to say, Jay, and then
I'll go with mine. Now, what I did was, I basically let her go, now to do what she has to do. Now, mine was with a white feather. Okay, it was with peace and love, and basically, but I did bring it back, because what it is you can't disconnect two souls. But what I did was, I did mine with peace and love and white light to go and sort yourself out, pretty much. Okay, I had a diamond around me to protect me. It's all about me letting go to do what you want to do, but I'm not really letting her go. It's the way it is. And it's not really going, I'm going to cord cut like this. The white feather came out and a spiritual master told me to do that with regards to it. And I'll tell you straight up, I was upstairs. We were both dressed in white, and that was go and sort yourself out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I haven't. I know I haven't directly. You can't. I don't think you can.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Because you join by souls.
More about if cutting this cord disconnects the entire connection. I was fine with it. I'm okay. I think I've gone through enough of the journey to know that, if it's meant to be, it will happen. But I'm in a place in my life where I am really focusing on myself. So if that incited him to move on completely without me, I'd be able to manage it, I think. Because that's at the place I was at, or the place I am at. But if you're ready, I could pop Sarah on and she can give us a little bit more of a...
Yeah. Oh, we'll grab on we'll grab my... this is my co-host on Life Theories. G'day, young Raven. You're back.
Hello. Let me just see if I can get my camera on there. There we go. Awesome. Can you guys hear me okay?
I can hear you. I can hear you clearly. Tell us a little bit about... You've jumped on. This is Sarah from Life Theories, from my other podcast, my soul sister from my other podcast. So thanks a lot for jumping on. We're talking about
and Sarah is a Reiki master. Are you not, Sarah?
I'm not a Reiki master, no. I do practice Reiki and quantum healing. And I'm also a wellness coach and mindset coach.
Welcome. Tell us why cutting cords might not always be in our best interest.
When you're dealing with a twin, and what I learned, I was driving myself crazy doing cord cuttings with my twin. My twin and I are also in separation. We haven't even spoken for over a year. I was getting very frustrated because I was doing the cord cuttings and wondering why the heck things were actually feeling like they were getting worse in my head. Like I would do the cord cuttings and the thoughts would continue to spin. The reason why I say that it can be dangerous to try to cut cords with a twin, if you are cutting your direct cord from you to your twin and cutting that connection, you do have to be a little bit careful with that, because your twin and you are twins because you're sharing the same oversoul. You're sharing the same soul frequency. So when you try to disconnect from someone you're sharing a soul with, that can cause a lot of discord. And what you would want to do in that instance, rather than trying to cut the disconnection or cut the connection between you guys physically, cut the connections between from you to the toxic thought patterns.
And you know what? Now that you say that is what I did, because it was like, I am cutting codependency, I'm cutting addiction.
I did the same thing.
It wasn't ever the soul connection, and I did that not knowing this, but that makes sense. So the intention is to what you don't want to be connected.
Yeah, because when you are cutting a cord from yourself to yourself, you can actually...
Oh, there she goes. She's lost. So what basically, before hopefully
cause a lot of mental turmoil and your twin, because you're trying to, I don't know if you guys lost me or not, but what you're essentially trying to do is disconnect from a part of yourself. So if you try to cut that cord between you guys physically, you're creating discord between you and yourself. But if you are cutting the cords of, I want to cut the cord of attachment between him and I that links us to...
Okay, there we go. We're looking at... So we got
behaviors, toxic communication, toxic thought patterns, and things like that. I don't know if you guys keep losing me or not.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, sorry
guys. I don't know if
Sarah. Losing me or not. I'm not sure what you...
That's
sorry,
okay.
my internet is garbage today.
So pretty much what you're saying is exactly what we're doing anyway.
I don't know what happened. I think we lost her.
We lost. That's okay. So pretty much.
Anyways, but that makes sense. Proper intention as to what you're cutting.
Yep. So basically, with my, I know you did it. Now, if I look back on mine, what I was told to do was to cut the cord, right? But what I didn't do it I didn't do it dramatically. Goodbye. I got my Whitefeather, and I basically said, go and do what you got to do to sort yourself out. So I wasn't disconnecting in that way.
It was more of a. You're right. So yes, it was more of a. It's time for you to go on your path and
sort yourself out. I'm always here, and I always said I was standing there. It was like raising beyond it was like in the clouds, and she walked off, and smile on her face, of course.
Yeah.
Right. So up there, I could see it. I was standing there waiting for her to come back because I know she's coming back.
Yep.
Now I've got one more question here. Actually, sorry. Keep going. Have you got anything else to say on that one there, Jack?
No, I think it was great, and I'm glad that Sarah popped in to say that.
Yes.
Because, yeah, now that once she brought it up, it wasn't the full connection that I was trying to disconnect from. It was certain behaviors within that connection that I couldn't seem to separate myself from.
That's great. Thanks very much.
Kind of labeled what the biggest things were. It was a lot easier for those things not to come in, because I still, think about him or connected in so many ways. It's more about not embodying, my connection. Like when he would do something bad, I wasn't kind of attached to that with him. So
that's
makes
exactly
a lot of
sense. You have to remember too, but you're working on yourself too. So if you're aware of, if you've gone Pandora's box and the key's been opened, and we know it wasn't just us, we actually held hands and I opened my key. Obviously, if they don't want to go there, they won't go there. All right, and I know it. But it's actually, as you said, cutting trauma cords. So you're going in to become a better person. Yeah, and that's exactly what you said.
And actually, when I did it, I did call upon his dad, who passed away, to assist his higher self on a transition of change.
Okay, cool.
Kind of asking, honestly, in a way, like take the wheel here for a moment. Take that burden of me feeling like I was the only one that could help him. Take that off and show him that he has the power to help himself. And this was all through a meditation. But yeah, it was done out of complete love and hope that my partner would then somehow feel that change and strive to be the best version of himself. It was
absolutely, sorry, keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, it was just done with love.
Awesome. So that's the same thing. I did the same thing with love, but also love for myself as well, because then you actually have time to work on yourself. But and mate, I could still feel her. I can still feel her in there, and I've still got those. I can still got those thoughts. And it's not a case I'm getting on with life. Don't get me wrong, but I think once you have that feeling, you see that within her eyes. I saw it, and I saw it many a time. Being vulnerable and having that feminine energy, it's very hard to forget that. But at the same time, you've got great friends, as I said, calling out to yourself. I'm so grateful that look at this. We're doing a podcast about it. I mean, I'm so grateful that you and me have connected. I've got the Life Theories crew that have come around. I've got also close friends. You actually see that the benefits of what it is, but it is absolutely you want to disconnect because it's so traumatic, but you really have to get your masculine energy in there and understand it, and then we can go next level with guides. And man, it's brought out certain things with guides and certain guides that have helped me a lot, and I accept on the next level how it all works. I mean, we can talk about third eye, astral traveling, and having messages coming. I've opened up spiritually, and it is amazing, mate. Some of the stuff, I mean, we've talked about some of the stuff that we've gone through next level. We'll go from 3D to 5D if you want to go that way. Absolutely amazing. So I mean, those questions are awesome, guys. Thanks so much for sending those in.
And definitely keep sending in your questions. We'll get to them on the next episode, unless somebody has something right now they wanted to pop in. I know.
If you have any questions, guys, as I said, and the most important thing is we're all. I mean, I'm more active on TikTok these days. I try to put my quotes up, as I said, for what we're doing, and those are thoughts of the day. So I put a silly video up once. I put, I do the dress ups and all those kind of the costuming and stuff. And during, and I saw a lot of people just being happy. There's a guy, I'll give him a shout out. The Luke Minded podcast. I'm not sure where he is, but mate, positive. It's fantastic. He just sits there and dances in his backyard songs. And I'm thinking to myself, I look and go, right, I used to do that during the pandemic and stuff, which we had, and we got to stay home. All of us had to work out what to do. And one of my things was dressing up, taking the bins out. Of course it was, because that's the kind of person I am. I'm crazy. Okay. And I decided to do, and apparently I do a very good Shania Twain, apparently. Oh. So I did. But looking at it, let's look at it on next level. How happy are we when we do things like that? People go, "You're nuts." I go, "Yeah, but I'm happy. Am I hurting anyone? No." So I had to look at, and it really gives you a perspective of, you look back and go, it was a hard time, but we made our own happiness, and look what we've got now.
Exactly. We had to kind of look at, I think it's put a lot of things into perspective, the smaller things in life that actually matter. It isn't the most expensive house or the most expensive cars and all of these materialistic type things. I think for me, I realized is how important the small things of life are, and how much I really was lacking some certain, spiritual connection, connection to other people, connection to the land. Like it really put in perspective.
Earth Angel, Earth Warrior. Have a look at that.
Yeah, exactly. It really did.
That's what we're calling ourselves,
It definitely opened up the whole world for me, and as horrible as those couple years were mentally, I now looking back and see how far it has pushed me.
What about the twin flame side of things with that? We were looking at the happiness within ourselves. So we talk about what we did when the pandemic was on, but do you think what happened to you? What's happened? I mean, you just had a trip away. We just had a trip. You had some fun going away. Does it ignite that? Does it ignite that sort of inner child, that happiness and that childlike feelings to have that again? Because I look at some of the photos. I mean, I'm a pro wrestling fan. I love, collecting collectibles, like collecting toys and all those kinds of, and from stuff like that, like collectible toys and stuff that are worth a fortune. Dressing up, obviously I did the Good Friday. You saw that I dressed up as the.
Yeah,
I'm in the Australian Village People show. I dress up as Felipe. And those kind of things really ignites those really simple things. I think even when I'm going through this twin flame journey, it has really ignited myself for what I really love. What about yourself? Because I mean, I can see a vibe in you too. I can really see a vibe in you.
For me, it was like singing and dancing, and nor can I sing or dance very well. But when I was a kid, I used to just dance around, singing at the top of my lungs, and it was a really, really positive release of energy. So I try to do that now. Obviously, yep. I can't stay up to get to a nightclub, so it'll be at home. We'll head out to karaoke sometimes and just have a great time.
I'm coming over. I'm very good at it. So when I come over,
that's where we're going when we go.
Look out, 80s. We're the 80s.
They better find a good karaoke bar for us.
Well, you better find one.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure in Vancouver they got like some amazing ones. So
rock and roll. Look out. I always joke around on the other thing. I live a rock star lifestyle. I love to sit there and laugh about it, but. But look, I think it has ignited me a lot. I know I can see in your aura that you're up and about, and it is a hard journey, ladies and gentlemen, that you've got, someone's got you've got a twin flame, and you go, wow. And the Life Theory School used to joke about it and go, this guy, he hates it. Jay hates it. He goes, they used to laugh about it because I used to be scared of it. Because you hear some such bad things about it, But I'm so glad that I'm grateful that you and me have connected, and we're giving our versions of what we're going through weekly about, what's going on. And again, guys, thank you so much for the questions. Very, very grateful for that. We'll shoot out a few more, and we will definitely be talking about it in the next episode when we go live.
Perfect.
Also quickly, just before, I'm sorry to cut you off there. With our, we've got our social media now. I've got Journey of a Whitefeather on YouTube. There are previews of these episodes going up on that one, so you can check that out. I've got my link tree up on my TikTok that I've got here. And Jackie, you want to tell us your
I am just posting live unedited. Well, I guess it won't be live, but the unedited live to my YouTube, Jackie Soul Stories, so you can get the full version there. Unedited, because I don't have time to do all this more. I have too many things to edit these days.
This is why I work together. So I do the editing, and we're gonna do what we got to do.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a catalog to say, it was done. This is where it is. For anybody who ever wants to go back, it'll be there forever.
Absolutely, we'll be there forever, and we can go from there. So guys, if you want to send in, like as I said, the update for I mean, the other thing I'm going to put towards you guys is, right, you've separated from your twin flame. Now, how do you keep going in some ways when you connect out in the real world? Because let's be honest, I mean, especially the feminine energy with regards to the emotions, it's, when you see that person, I'll tell you, I haven't seen my twin flame in about 10 weeks. I've spoken to her, yeah, but I haven't seen her in 10 weeks. And I'll tell you right now, we're in the same scene with the band scene and stuff. I don't know how I'll be if I actually see her, I'll be honest with you. I don't know.
That's probably where it's different for me, because I see my twin all the time. I wonder how there was a certain amount of time or space between us before we saw each other again. If all of a sudden those, there would be a difference in how I feel, because, maybe I'm spoiled in the fact that I know he's always there. You know what I mean? Like, if he was to actually start pulling away, something might change inside me. I can't say.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there you go. So there you go. It is what it is for now. As I said, with mine, I could see her around. My scariest one is, I'll be honest with you, I play in a band. I play in a rock band, in a tribute show. And, yeah, there's a lot to it. What will happen, I said straight out when this all started and I've got this show coming up, I go, I'm going to have to wear a mask or wear glasses. I'm going to have to, because I don't know if she's in the crowd, I don't know how I'm going to react. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Straight
up.
But
stay tuned for a future episode, because I'm sure that's going to happen here in the next
little while. That's going to be a good. Well, we'll soon find out next week. My gig's on this week, and I don't know if she rocks up. I don't know, but as I said, and the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I don't hate her at all. I still love her to death. I'll take her back in a second.
I don't know if you can hate your twin flame. I mean, I'm sure there's
you can't
hate, but I mean, it's that love-hate relationship.
It's a case of love frustration for me, so that's what it is. But all I know is, I remember that look, and that you can't not love that soul which is within that person. So if you're going deep into this stuff. Stop this superficial stuff and look into their heart, and when you see that, you can be frustrated with it, you can do that, it'll bring out stuff, but you can't hate that heart that you actually connected with when it's a twin flame.
Yeah, it's a true story.
And it'll bring out. In my
opinion, I think I want to hate them. I wish I could.
Yeah.
I want to sometimes.
You can't.
It would be a lot easier if I could.
Oh, would it what? But I think it'd be bad for our spirit too, I think.
For sure.
But we know with
nothing good comes easy. Or I don't want to say that, because...
No, you're right. No, they say it. It's true.
That might be a limiting belief. But...
Not really. Hey, but it's like one of those things, good things come to people that way, because we have to learn the lessons. If you connect to the universe, and learn your lessons, it'll come. That's not being negative as far as I'm concerned.
No. And that's the point, is learning the lesson. If you learn the lesson, you don't have to repeat the lesson. So we can stop kind of recycling those same experiences and move on to the next lesson.
And twin flame, open, as I said to you, keeps open that key to your Pandora's box. Have fun turning it.
Exactly.
So, it's not nice. I won't lie, but it will give you satisfaction.
I really enjoyed today's chat.
I did, and thank you so much for everyone for the questions that you sent. As I said, we won't be reading out the names just because of copyright and privacy and all that. I'm not sure how it all works, so we'll just keep that. But we'll just, just for privacy, I don't know how it all works, so I'd rather not read the names out. So I do apologise for not reading out those. But again, thank you for those 4 questions, and please send some more in for next week, because I think we've opened up a can of worms here. So. Exactly. I'll let you have the final say there, Jack.
Yeah, thank you guys all for joining, and I'm really excited for next week's call, and get your questions in, and we'll be sure to answer them.
Absolutely. As I said, it's been a pleasure to be on with the Earth Angel and Earth Warrior. I'm really actually quite stoked. So thank you so much. Much love to you, and we'll definitely see you next week.